Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through the instructions for beginning the very first piece of our judicial opinion project, and that is the evidence log. At this point, every one of us should have selected our topic for our project. You are given three choices: juvenile justice, animal testing, or single-use plastics. Now, once you have chosen your topic, that will become the focus of your investigation for the next couple of weeks. All right, so you can completely disregard the other two topics once you have made that selection. Now, the next step is to become very, very knowledgeable in that particular topic. Now, we know that any controversial issue, like the three that we'll be grappling with, has at least two sides to it. But because we are taking on the position of judges, that means that we do not want to jump to a conclusion too early. You may already have a feeling in your gut as to how you feel about this particular topic, one way or the other, but your job is to look at all of the evidence in support of the pro side of your argument, as well as the evidence on the con side of your argument, and weigh them fairly next to each other. And this particular step of the project is going to help us to do that. So this first document that you're going to be completing is called our JOP Evidence Log. You're going to find this in Schoology. I'll show you where specifically in a moment. When you open this document, you're going to see that it's broken down into three parts. We're going to begin with part 1 only. You can disregard parts 2 and parts 3 for now. We'll pick those up next week. Once you have this document downloaded to your device, the second thing that you need to do is you need to find your chosen judicial opinion case. That's that little Google Slides document full of credible resources and information about your particular topic. Now, that is something that you can view through Schoology, but it's always my recommendation to just go ahead and make a copy of it and download it to your device. That way you can easily access it from your Google Drive rather than having to go through Schoology each time. So let's take a look at where those things are located. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be working within our Mastery number 2 folder. The judicial opinion evidence log that I just mentioned is here at the bottom of that folder. That's the graphic organizer that you're going to need to download your own personal copy of. And then inside of our purple Judicial Opinion Cases 1 through 3 folder, you'll be able to find a copy of your particular case. All right, so for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and open up case number 1. And you can see that each of these documents are structured pretty similarly. We have our topic on our title page. We have our introduction, key vocabulary, and then we start to get into our sources. All right, so for each of these cases, you're going to have somewhere between 7 to 9 different sources to sift through for valuable information about your topic. I have already provided full MLA citations for each of these sources, as well as in-text citations for each of these sources. So everything that you need to know about where these pieces of information come from are right here on these first few slides. Then as you progress through your document, you'll see that each of the following slides has a different source of information on them, each representing different types of media. You're going to see videos and articles, and you're going to see excerpts from books. You're going to see infographics and graphs and all kinds of cool things. All of this is information that you're going to be able to sift through and then organize into your JOP evidence log. So let's take a look at this piece now and how this is organized. Remember, again, we are focusing only on part 1 of this document. Part 1 is going to ask you to go through each of those various sources inside that Google Slides document, and from each of those sources, you're going to extract pieces of evidence that either support the pro side of the argument or the con side. All right, now that's really, really important. Remember, again, we are judges, so we are evaluating both sides fairly before we form our opinion. So you will be collecting evidence in support of both sides of the argument. This document is color-coded to help you with that. You'll notice that the pro side of your argument is represented in green, and then on the other half of that graphic organizer, you'll see the con side of your argument in red. If you like, you are welcome to delete the claims for the other two topics, just to kind of clarify things for yourself. And then we simply just want to gather that evidence and organize it here. Now, as you read, you're going to be collecting pieces of information that will be included in each of these rows. Now, that can either be a quote or a paraphrase. We've worked a lot with quotes, which of course is text that's taken word for word from an original source, placed in quotation marks, and then recorded somewhere else. Now, we can do that, of course. It's always a great way to provide evidence, but we also want to note the importance of paraphrases. Paraphrasing is when you put the information from another source into your own words. That's going to be really useful to us, especially when we are going through some of our different non-text sources like the videos or the graphs or the infographics. So please know that you have the option to do both. Once you've recorded that evidence here, you then want to identify the type of evidence. This week we had a whole lesson about different types of evidence that we can extract from sources of information, like statistics and facts and expert opinions. You want to identify that evidence, and then last but not least, you want to provide the in-text citation for where that piece of evidence has come from. Now this is really, really important because we're gathering lots and lots of info from lots and lots of different sources. And we know that it is our responsibility to keep all of that connected so that we can give proper credit to each of these sources within our writing. Okay? Now, remember that in-text citation was provided to you. So again, if we go back to our text set, you'll see that all you have to do is find the source of information where you took that quote, and then copy that in-text citation, and then move that right over into your graphic organizer. All right, now you'll see that you have quite a few lines here, and that is because we are expecting you to gather quite a bit of evidence. You are a judge. That is a well-respected position, one that comes with a lot of hard work. So let's please embrace that responsibility and fill this graphic organizer with information. All right, remember, if you have any clarifying questions, you can always reach out to me by email or talk to me during class. Otherwise, we will see you when we're ready for part 2.